Hello and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. My name is Spanj. Welcome back to Project Eden multiplayer. Now, if you remember, in the last episode was chaos for one thing, but we did manage to find a planet on the other side of the progenitor gate. I believe we're in the progenitor galaxy now. In Project Eden, there's this whole kind of storyline around progenitor stuff. In fact, the UCH guys are researching progenitor things. This is what I don't know. I don't really know much more about that. I think there's a little bit more story in Project Eden now to what we're actually playing on at the moment. Because remember, this is quite an old save game now for this server. So I know that Raven, who the author of Project Eden, he's obviously put even more stuff into Project Eden, and even more as time goes on will go in. So this whole sort of mini galaxy, satellite galaxy, whatever you want to call it, out here that we're now in is incomplete. I mean, it's incomplete still even in the current version of Project Eden, but he has put a lot more stuff in it since we started this save game. So what we're going to come across here is probably, like I said before, only a flavor of what you would find there now if you started a brand new Project Eden game. So but what I have found while I've been sort of gallivanting, the sun is just setting. Typical. I start recording, the sun goes away. I don't do this on purpose. It makes a cool thumbnail when the sun going up or down or whatever, and I capture that. But anyway, I have managed to find some very strange things on this planet so far, such as these random rings, that floaty thing there, and amongst other things. What is that over there? Is that a structure, or is that just a bunch of mushrooms? I think that might just be a bunch of mushrooms. That thing on the floor there, I think it is trees or vegetation. It's definitely trees or vegetation, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, fine. For a second there, I thought it was like a little, one of those little survival bases, but whatever. So yeah, these giant rings, there's a few of these across the planet, but I thought I'd show you these ones because they're a bit random. And then there's that floating structure-y thing up there. I haven't explored that yet, but these giant rings, if you do head over here and you find these giant rings, they're worth spending a little bit of time at, because although it took me a while to find, and I have to park this ship in a specific way because it's not actually designed to be landed at all. It's a pure scouty space fighty ship. So the fact that I'm trying to land it on a planet is ridiculous. But there we go. That's probably as best as I can get it. But what I do have is the little nightshade here, which I've kind of latched onto the side. Can I jump up there into the cockpit? I can. That was close. That could have gone really wrong. The little nightshade here, we can actually explore these rings a little bit closer. Now, if you look around the kind of bottom edge of each ring, and that was lucky, I kind of found that straight away, you will find a hole in some of the blocks here. So a little SV like this, you can just pop. The annoying thing is the nightshade seems to drop for a bit, but it's fine. I think we can manage without it. Now, if you get into one of these rings, you will find some boxes, and these boxes contain technical artifacts. They also contain ancient relics. Now, both of these, I'm not sure about the ancient relics, but I think both of these can be sold at the UCH research vessels back on the other side of the gate for a lot of money, for actually quite a lot of money. So I can't remember the exact value. I'd have to go back and check. But there's usually sort of about 2 containers in each ring. So it takes a little while to wander around these things, and obviously they're not very well sort of textured or built on the inside, but there we go. Some more ancient relics and technical artifacts. Wonderful stuff. And each ring has some of these boxes, I think. So you can actually get quite a lot of these through all the various ring type structures that are on this planet. Now, between me and all the guys that have come over, once they actually get mobile and able to explore, I think we are going to be able to acquire a lot of these technical artifacts and ancient relics. And then when we head back, sell them and make absolute bank. That's the plan. We're going to make absolute bank. So I think that's the full ring there, and that was just 2 containers, wasn't it? Yep. So I don't think there's any more than 2 containers in each one of these things. That's the first one we found. we're back to the hole in the wall again. There we go. Okay. So now I would just do that on each ring here. We've done the top one. I don't know if the next one down has the hole in the same place. It does, yeah. So if and the next one again, and the next one. So yeah. If you think, well, that one we might struggle to get into because I think that's gone into the ground a bit, hasn't it? I don't think we're going to be able to get in that. Yeah, looks like that's a bit too buried. But no problem, that's fine. 3 of 4 is okay, and plus remember, obviously this is the second. There's 2 of these lots of rings. So that's the big rings. You can get those. Now there's also these floaty things that we find dotted around that resemble Object 82 and the sorts like that. Now I'm not sure what the dealio is with these ones. I don't think we can get into the outside bit, but maybe we can get into the middle. Oh yeah, look there, right there. Right, now this is going to be interesting. Can we align ourselves well enough? Night vision definitely helps, actually. Look at that. Right, okay. Let's position there. Level her out using O. Jump on, and then, oh god, we are falling. Whew. That's so... it's really annoying. Sometimes the ship stays, and sometimes it just drops. And I don't know... Right, it seems to be staying this time. Can we get up? We can. There's a single container in here. Some more technical artifacts. Is that? I just think there might be one above as well. This doesn't look... The inside of that doesn't look quite big enough to be the entire thing. So is there a hole in the roof? No, there isn't. Okay. Well, at least I don't think there is. Let's, there might be a trap door, actually, or something like that. Have a little spotlight. Doesn't look like there is anything up there, but let's have a... Ow! Seriously? No, I don't think there's anything up here. No trapdoors or anything. So yeah, just the one in there. Okay, well that's good. So between the rings and this floaty thing here, we should actually be able to get quite a few technical artifacts and ancient relic-y type things, which is pretty cool. And that, like I said, is going to make us a bunch of money. I have been sort of exploring this planet a little bit more. There's not a huge amount here. There are just these sort of structures and stuff dotted around. Resource-wise, we've got iron, copper, silicon, and neo here. Only difficulty hard, but it is a breathable planet with 0.8 G gravity. And I think there's some water at the bottom of these little pod things here. But anyway, I don't think this is a very good place for setting up like a frontier base. I think we should maybe continue looking, see if we can find something maybe a little bit more suitable. The difficulty I have with the old Nightshade here is where to park it here. There isn't very good places to park the little ship on this already little CV. In hindsight, I should have probably brought with me something like the Pioneer, maybe. I just didn't think the Pioneer would be suitable because of the lack of firepower. I wanted something with a lot of firepower because ultimately we had no idea what we were going to come across in this little microgalaxy. It's not legacy space or anything, so I suppose in hindsight it's probably been more explorative rather than combative. But then again, we did have to fight off a legacy interceptor or decimator as soon as we got here. So anyway, what I'm going to do is turn off night vision. We're going to have a little look around. I've got a little bit of pentaxid left in the tanks. I've got to be careful because I don't have a huge amount of pentaxid spare. And I need to make sure that I can obviously go back to our to the gateway before running out of pentaxid. I suppose if I do run out, I can call for help. And there is some people up here that can help me, but yeah, we need to go back to... There's quite a few jumps at quite long distances, so it does use a lot of fuel to get back to the Decay Andromeda. So we've got to be careful about that. But yeah, so we're at B Lunari. That planet is interesting, but no good. I'm going to sort of maybe use half my tank that I've got now, 250 AU, to explore nearby stars and see if I can find anything more interesting out there. if I run out of fuel, or if I get about halfway, and then I'm going to start heading back and use the rest of the tank to get back. So, yeah, we'll see what we can find. Well, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually on a entirely different planet because, well, as you can see, this is a much smaller planet. But what I'm finding, I've been to a few now. I'm sort of running, kind of starting to run on fumes in a bit. So what I am finding is that each of these planets is pretty much exactly the same. It has these funky POIs on. It seems to have this exactly same terrain, even down to the exact same sort of types of resources. And I think we've sort of found that kind of. I don't know if there are any more that are different types. There are a few lava moons and other type moons, but they just appear to be exactly like any other regular moon. There's nothing special on them at the moment. So I think we've sort of found what Raven was talking about when he said that this sector of space is incomplete and a work in progress. I think he's got maybe one or two planet types. I say one or two because we actually have a couple of sectors that I've tried to warp to, and it just failed. The warp has failed. It just kicks you back to the sector where you are warping from. So we know that Lunari was one of the most successful ones, but Razmianius is one of the ones that doesn't work. So it's possible that this sector has a different type of planet around it, and maybe has some different stuff on it, but well, obviously we're unable to see it due to sort of technical issues with that. So the only ones that I'm now coming across are planets of this type, basically. The fonts of knowledge, these unknown structures, those random ring things, some obelisks, and iron, copper, silicon, and neodymium. There's another set of rings there. Now, of course, each one of these POIs does have to carry a lot of the ancient artifacts and stuff like that, like I just said, but there seems to be the sort of limit of the things to find over here. Still, I could be wrong, so I'm not going to rule it out just yet. What I am going to do now is going to head back to the gate, because, like I said, I'm running out of resources. I'm also running out of room. I've sort of done a bit of looting of some of the Xerax POIs up in space and got some bits and bobs. But of course, the old ray tracer here doesn't have any kind of real functional storage construction or anything like that. So while it's very, very good at taking down Xerax POIs, ships, and all sorts up in space, that's the limits of its abilities. So what I do want to do is possibly get a different ship in, a little exploration class ship, something like a starter ship, so that we can do a little bit more traveling, carrying more pentaxid, do a bit of mining on the go. At the moment, there's plenty of resource asteroids up here in space, pentaxid asteroids that could keep us going for longer, and so that we can explore deeper into this area of space. At the moment, I'm kind of limiting myself to just this side of the galaxy, and while all these stars are D2 type stars, I do want to make sure that there is definitely not any other types of planet out there that maybe has some more interesting stuff in it that we haven't found yet. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I'll be back with something interesting in a moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's taken me a few hours to get all this sorted, but what you're seeing here is the ray tracer parked on top of my old Nikiri. Recently sort of gave a little update to this thing and sort of shared the blueprint with my patrons. The original Nikiri is still very much on the workshop, though, and it doesn't take too much effort to update this thing to tier 3 on the old CPU. So I've got the startings of a little farm here. The Nikiri is great because it's got enough storage, hangar bay, and constructor capacity to make living out here actually possible. And should be able to slap a nice sort of mining turret on the front of the nose here, and hopefully be able to sort of mine some of the pentaxid asteroids that are dotted around that will keep us going through space. I need to keep an eye out for some Promethean as well, because in the bits and bobs box that I have here, I have a whopping 14 fusion cells, which I'm going to actually take me very far. Look at our fuel is already at 26% anyway. So we need to be on the lookout for pentaxid, and we need to be on the lookout for Promethean. So let me just grab this tool turret here. Now this is going to look a bit weird because on this ship is built actually between two blocks rather than between a block. So as you can see, it's going to be off to one side, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And you know, it's more important for me to have a mining turret on the nose of this thing rather than having a symmetrical, a perfect symmetry there. It's fine. I will get over it. So there we go. Okay, we've got a nice little mining turret there. That should mean our CPU will still be well in. Yeah, you've got like 500,000 CPU to play with on this thing. Let's turn the shield back on. I need to get that thing charged so that it's ready to go if we run into any trouble. Now, obviously, with the ray tracer on the roof, that's not going to be shielded. So the idea here is to very much stay out of trouble and then see trouble coming. And if trouble is coming, whip into the ray tracer and use that to deal with it. So that's why I've parked it on the roof. So a little 2CV kind of party going on here. We're at Toru Delta. There's some pentaxid. There's 7 pentaxid asteroids over there that I'm going to go and head to. And we're going to see if we can mine those to fill the pentaxid tanks up a little bit. We do have a little bit of refined left over. And if I'm honest, I did bring over a little bit of pentaxid from the other side of the gate as well. So we should be okay for a little while. In fact, we've got a bit of Promethean there as well. Should we run out of that? And if we pick up an ice asteroid, actually, we might even be able to spare water for fusion cells. But I think, to be honest, I'm just going to make large fuel packs, fusion cells out here. I just think they're probably a little bit too complicated to be worth it. The other issue is as well, of course, is that while the ray tracer is on the roof, our speed is quite significantly slowed down to only 59 meters per second, and obviously we should be traveling at 100 meters per second is the sort of max speed. And indeed, if I use the lift thrusters in combination with my forward thrusters, I do actually manage to get up to 98. But yeah, normal forward is quite slow. This extra weight. We've got an iron asteroid there. Let's see if you are a pentaxid asteroid. I don't think you are. What are you? You're a copper. I don't care about copper right now. Anyway, let's see if we can find a pentaxid asteroid and give that a good going over. So we've got a little bit of ice here and some pentaxid. And now we've got these 2 basic resources. Just need to keep an eye out for some Promethean. And that means that we've got all the fuel we need to warp and all the fuel we need to keep things going. So we should be able to reach some deep sectors, some deeper areas of this particular sector. Little cluster of stars here. But yeah, still, so far on all the planets that I've visited so far, which is, you know, about sort of 5 now or so, they've all been the exact same, both type of obviously star or D2, the exact same type of planet as well. This kind of what is it called? Decayed desert. So hopefully we can find a decayed something else that might maybe have something else to explore on it. At the moment, not so much. Barren, lifeless world, once inhabited by a civilization known as the progenitors, of course. Everything is kind of ruins and whatnot. Let's see what we can find then. More Promethean would be good. There's none in this orbit, so we're going to have to move on. Let's go, now that we can go reasonably far, let's go to Rahileth, all the way into the center of the cluster here. Let's see if that yields anything interesting. Ah, right, decayed lava, interesting. 1.21 Gs, okay, so that's actually reasonable. This is definitely a different type of planet. Let's go check that out. Okay, yeah, already this is looking quite different here. I think what we're going to have to do is possibly leave the ray tracer up here in orbit, park it, leave its shields running. Shouldn't really run into anything while I'm down there, but you've got control vessel 8 kilometers away. I don't think we'll come this close. You never know. Okay, so let's pop down. Let's park the ray tracer here. We don't want to be taking that down on planet with us, really. It's just an extra mass that we don't need. We've also got the old nightshade parked in this ample hangar bay here. Radiation and temperature of space in this area is mad. I am in epic armor, and this is the kind of thing to deal with. Right. Power on. Undock. There we go. Nice and gracefully. Shields up. Let's get them charging. Let's just leave the old thrusters switched off. And that gives us, well, I mean, with the shields charging, only 15 minutes of power, but obviously it won't be gone that long. I don't think I've got any more fuel just sat around in the ray tracer. Let's move a little bit closer to the Nakiri and top up the old fuel tanks a little bit with those fusion cells that we've got. Okay, and Nakiri, bits and bobs box, and ray tracer fuel. Oh dear, ray tracers. Let's half that, a bit extra in there. This is what I mean, running on sort of fumes here. So a bit more pentaxid in there, hopefully keep the shields up a little bit longer. But everything else I think will be fine to just be sat here. Oxygen fuel at 46%. Yeah, okay. Thrusters off, shields are up. That leaves us 18 minutes of power while the shields are obviously charging. Once they're at 100%, hopefully a little bit more power, a little bit longer lifespan. Let's get the Nakiri here actually manufacturing some fuel cells. As we're running low on fuel, didn't actually check what is in orbit here. No Promethean here as well, but maybe there's some down on the planet. Let's go with bits and bobs box there. Make me 100 of those, please. You too, as well, sir. Input and output to bits and bobs. Another 100 of those as well, please. Okay, so we've got some manufacturing going on here, but we're just burning through fuel until we can find more pentaxid and stuff. Right, let's close the doors up. Promethean, I mean. Promethean. Hopefully we can find some down on the planet. Nope. Right. Ray tracer is directly above us. 100% shields now. We're going to leave you there, good sir. Stay safe, stay alive, stay well. There's our top speed. Much better now that we don't have the weight of that thing holding us back. And hit I. Let's go coasting. We'll ping the detector. Nothing in front of us at all. Lots of resource, but they're very spread out, and it looks like the same sort of stuff. Ice and pentaxid up here with the restrum, titanium, magnesium, etc. No moon in this one. Anyway, let's find out what this lava planet has, if anything, to offer. This might be interesting. With 37 minutes of fuel remaining on board, we can actually see the planet has got Promethean. So that's good. Gold as well. Erestrium, magnesium. Not found any zascosium out here in these parts yet, even in asteroid form. So it'll be interesting to see if we can find any of that. But I'm more interested to see if there are any ruins down there. Anything like that. Barren, lifeless world once inhabited by the civilization known as the progenitors. Show me what you got, Mr. Progenitors. Okay, yeah, very much a lava type planet, and we have some alien legacy type stuff nearby. Obviously do want to be finding kind of Promethean while we're here as well. Look at these nice little mountains. They look like the ones that we had on the dead planet at the start. You got the kind of double peak kind of mountain things going on. Yeah. Oh, this is a big bloody planet as well. The size of it. Okay. Well. Right, so we've got a bit of exploring to do. What have we got down below us? 900 meters. Let's lose a bit of altitude. Shields are up in case anything decides to shoot at us. I don't think it will. And this doesn't look like it's going to be anything particularly exciting down there. I think it's like this little tiny question mark thing, which is the exact sort of thing that we were finding on the other planet. But let's have a little look at it, just in case it is anything of value. I don't think it is. But the great thing about the Nakiri here is that it lands. And it's quite good at it. It's made for landing, so it's a little bit easier to get in and out of than the ray tracer. Saying that, it is a bit of a run. Alright, what we got out here? We got 35 rads of radiation. Well, that's fun. And this is just a diamond in the ground, isn't it? That's it. We can't do anything to it, which would suggest that there's something maybe underground here. And with 35 rads, I can't spend a huge amount of time figuring this out. But let's have a little dig down. Fuel tank, generator, core. I think that is all she wrote, ladies and gents. If I dig out from underneath this, is it going to collapse? I don't think it will. Okay. Well, there we go. That's fun and exciting, isn't it? Can I shoot it? Or is it an admin? I think it's probably an admin core, isn't it? That pink core. No. No, not falling down the giant hole. Well, there we go. Shoot the fuel tank. I'm assuming not. Nah, it takes no damage. Fine. So, nice little triangle in the ground. Question mark. Very interesting. Not really. Raven, please fix. Moving on! Well, the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, I found a Promethean deposit that we're going to proceed to dig up. And then from here, I don't know, I'm not really finding anything. I might continue to have a little look around for another few minutes, see if there is anything. I mean, it's a big planet, so it's entirely possible that there is one POI in amongst all the rest that I'm finding that might have some significance, but I suspect not. I suspect that all that is out here at the moment, and bearing in mind, like I said before, in this version that we're playing in Project Eden, which is actually an Alpha 12, I can't remember what point we were at, 12.3, 12.2, can't even remember now. What subversion of Project Eden, or Empyrion, sorry, that we were at when we started this this server. So a lot has changed in Project Eden from what you're actually seeing at the moment. And I know from speaking to Raven personally that he's made a lot of changes to this area of space since we started this save game. So what you're seeing is not actually a full representation of what might be out there for you if you were to start Project Eden now. So just bear that in mind. It might look barren and a bit sort of lifeless, a bit boring out here at the moment, but I'm just trying to give you a sort of idea, a flavour of the intrigue, really, what's going on out here. So there is a Promethean deposit. It is somewhere right below us. Can I reach it, do you think, with my drone from within the force field? I'm not sure. I'll give it a go. The old epic drill out, and it looks like it's SSOR deposits. So we're going to have to look for the little shiny blue outline. There it is. Going into focus now. It should probably connect actually to the input box. There we go, connect to that down to Promethean. Since I've started the constructors, I'm working on those fuel cells. So we are due some new Promethean. The drone is struggling now, just at the limits of its range. But we are picking up some decent amounts of Promethean here. So if I can find another Promethean deposit on this planet, I will be happy. If I can find some more POIs that maybe I can go into and have a little look around inside, I will be happy. Other than that, I think we might have to move on. Well, this is pretty cool, actually. we got 6 floating obelisks. That's pretty cool. All the guns are firing on something. They found something interesting, at least.
to shoot at. I don't think these obelisks, I mean, we've got one of those ring things and another sort of thing over there. I don't think these obelisks are ones that you can go into. Still, maybe we're worth another closer look. That is a lot of golems. Oh, wow. Alright, we might have to go out and have a little look at that, because golems usually drop resources. So, if they're all dropping resources, then I am interested in that. Thank you very much. Yes, please. So the little... the old little nightshade here doesn't have any ammo or any upgrades. But yeah, these are all golems. Amazing. Desert golems. I will loot you all for all your hard-earned ores. Thank you very much. That is actually me full. Remarkably. Look at that. That's alright, isn't it? I will take all of it. Thank you very much. Excellent. More golems, please. Yeah, little clusters like that. Fantastic. They must have all just spawned. All in the same spot. Never seen that before. Fantastic. Alright, well, I ain't going to complain. Let's have a little look at these obelisks a bit closer then. Are there? Sometimes in these things are little entrances, but I suspect what Raven is put in here is just simply a core, fuel tank, and a generator again. And it's going to be a case that these things are indestructible with their admin cores. So purely decorative, purely kind of like curiosity. I don't see any way in. I don't see any kind of holes in the armor there. So yeah, we'll move on from that one as well, I think. And then of course over here we've just got ring, which I've already shown you, which does have the artifacts and stuff inside, so I might pop in and grab those in a second. This obelisk thing over here is interesting. I've not seen one of these before. I've seen a screenshot of it, but I think this is just a mass of blocks. In fact, it is only maybe 2-3 blocks wide anyway, so if it has an interior it's extremely limited, unless there's an underground, of course, but I don't see any indication of one. No doors or gaps in the block, so I'm going to assume not. Right, let me go and get the artifacts and stuff out of these rings. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to move on to a different planet. I might have a quick look around off camera, see if we can find one more Promethean deposit. But if not, we're going to move on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd told you I'd bring you something interesting. And it would appear that I have found the center of this little cluster of planets. And what is at the center of this cluster of these planets is a large white sphere, where the stars seem to be imprinted over the top of them, which is a little bug, I think. I've seen it before, actually, even with Alion's own gas giants and stuff. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Dyson sphere. Dyson sphere system, and I don't think I could really do anything here, but you could, in the local sort of sector map, I can definitely see a Dyson sphere. I can even click lock onto it, but it doesn't seem to actually present any kind of lockable target. So I think this is as close to the Dyson sphere as I can get. But if we have a quick look at the galaxy map here, you can see it is right in the nestled in the heart of all of these D2 type stars. You can't really see it very easily at all. It is sort of little purple rogue system, I think it is based off. But yeah, Dyson sphere system. This must be the progenitor's home sphere. It must be the progenitor's home sphere. And obviously, because of the limitations of the game, you can't actually go to a Dyson sphere. Very much so, it is just an image. It's just a sprite, basically. Yeah, look, Dyson sphere. But it's cool. It's cool nonetheless to find, a nice little reference to a Dyson sphere. Very, very cool sci-fi kind of theory, I suppose. Is Dyson sphere, isn't it? It's built around the sun. But yeah, there we go. That is pretty much the center of this entire area. I don't think there's anything I can do here other than just go, yeah, look. There's a Dyson sphere. Cool. But maybe in the latest version of Project Eden, there is. Maybe there's a bit of a storyline, a quest that starts if you arrive here. That would be pretty cool. But we're going to have a look at some of the nearby star systems to see if there's anything different or curious about those ones. So let's pitch up. We have got the old ray tracer in tow again. Setigan is only 1 light year away. So a nice advanced spacefaring species like the progenitors would probably create sizable colonies or something on the nearby world. So maybe let's go and have a look at this planet that's only 1 light year away. I suspect it's probably exactly the same as all the other ones. And oh no, we've got lava and one of these barren ones. So the decayed desert, which we're familiar with, and the decayed lava, which we're also familiar with. So, but we do have these sort of green moon things going on here, barren moons, varnished barren moon. I think we're going to have to go and check out a varnished barren moon. How is it varnished? Has somebody gone along with a little tub of varnish and, by hand, giving it a good old polish? Well, if this is so-called polished, varnished moon, then you missed a spot. It's very not polished, or varnished, sorry. I keep getting those two confused, don't I? Right, this is a moon, ladies and gents. Oh, the Xerax are here, mooning themselves. Okay, so I think basically the general gist of this area, as it is in this version of Project Eden, is that you've got two types of planet: desert and lava decayed. And they may have some moons, and the moons are just your average, normal, everyday moons that have your Xerax and your Polaris stuff on them and whatnot. So, I hope that Raven is also working on sort of progenitor moons, and maybe some of these progenitor artifacts might actually eventually shoot back, or provide puzzles or story and things like that. This is all sort of stuff that he's working on at the moment. And we are not going to be able to see that. But, like I say, if you start a new Project Eden gameplay, you get out here to the Andromeda Gate, and you might find some more things. Some more story, PDA stuff, missions, POIs, dungeons, and things like that to explore than what we're finding. So, I think it's still worth a trip. Definitely worth a trip. If you've reached a point of the game where it's kind of like, well, what do I do now? But yeah, this is very much just like a normal moon with various Xerax scum everywhere, which is good actually, because it means we can take them down and loot them and remind them who's boss. Take all their goodies. This moon has some Promethean on it as well, so there we go. I don't think unless there's something interesting hiding there, going to be anything particularly fun and exciting on this moon. So there we go. These are some funky POIs. I'm seeing a recon base back there. I don't think I've done that one before. This one is what is this? It's a shooty one. So this is a recon base. Well, we've got 4 laser turrets. Having a go. Do my frontal cannon turrets have a go, please? Ooh, hello. Cannon turrets? Are you even gonna wakey? Is it just the GATs? Are we just relying on GATs now, are we? Because there's 2 cannon turrets there. Why are they not shooting? I'm not sure my 2 GATs can out DPS these 4 laser turrets. Where the hell are turrets? Oh my god. That's far down. Why is everything open? You're set to bases and turrets. Get to work then, son. Why aren't you shooting? Why aren't either of you shooting? One of you should be shooting. Oh yeah, I know what's going on with those. Let's take control of one. Here we go. Oh look, yeah, we can shoot. Oh wait, ammo missing. What? This is outrageous. No wonder they're not shooting. We've only got 15 mil. We've got no 30 mil bullets. What is this nonsense? Right, you two. Wait. Oh, you're building fuel pack still. Yeah, you are as well. Okay, all right. 30 mils can't be built in small constructors. Okay, well, we're gonna have to leave that alone for a minute and come back with some 30 mil ammo, and then we might actually be able to take his shields down, the turret down. I just don't think we can do it with just 15 mil. Anyway, let's continue our little gallivant across the moon here. And there's a drone base up to the north. Like I said, I think it's just a standard moon. What's that? Level 1 something or other on the north there. What have we got up there? That looks like pirates. That pirate base, yellow? Hmm. It's a raider base. It's a raider base, and I don't think I'm actually. I think we're pretty okay with it. We're almost honoured with the pirates, but I am curious to go and have a little look at their little raider base here. What do we got? I don't see much pirate stuff about, so. Oh, it's just a spaceport. It's just a rebranded spaceport. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Never mind. I was excited for a second. Yeah, no, that's just literally a rebranded spaceport with a flak turret on the roof there. Well, that might make things interesting if you're not paying attention. You fly over and you're not in a good relationship with the pirates there. But yeah, rebranded spaceport. All right, fine. Moving on. There's just the recon bases and a drone base, and some resources on this moon. Cool. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's much else for me to show you in this area of Project Eden. So I think what I'm going to have to do is the long and arduous task now of making sure there's nothing else to show you in this Project Eden Let's Play. Well, not this Let's Play, sorry, in this area. Let's just get some height because there's a drone over there that's coming towards me. Make my way back to the gates system, all the way back here, down the beacons, back through the Stargate, back to the Naginata, all the way to the other Andromeda Decay Gate, 90 light years-ish, through the Stargate, and then back home, I think, and then onwards, unless I find something else interesting here to show you, onwards, I think, to pirate space and then maybe legacy space. I do want to take the guys, so I can organize it, to the Zen 1 carrier so that we can ruffle stomp that together. I think that'll be a giggle. And of course, don't forget, we've got a race event coming up soon. Iron Wolf has been painstakingly making a racetrack actually over in pirate space, or near-ish pirate space, so we might have to go over there anyway to get to the racetrack. That actually reminds me I need to bring in the hover vessel, get that in the factory. The Dakamakaze. Dakamakaze. Yeah, we need a few bits and bobs for that. But yeah, the racer. It'd be fun. Anyway, like I said, that's going to be all for today, I think, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.